5-minute major, podcast segment number 3 we've ever recorded. You have a great story we're going to talk about here. Drafted to the OHL, played pro. So you also have a great foundation you're a part of and a great initiative we're going to talk about. So yeah, our guest today is Rane Carnegie. Dude, so in your own words, I'd love to hear just an intro on yourself, who you are.
Well, that's a loaded question. Depends on the day who I am, but most days, my background, obviously I'm Herb Carnegie's grandson. Yeah. For those of you that might not know who Herb Carnegie is, he was a hockey player in the 30s and 40s, considered one of the best to ever play. In 1938, my grandfather, unfortunately, was given the bad news at the age of 18 that he was good enough to play for the Leafs, but he was the wrong pigmentation. Unfortunately, the founder of the Maple Leafs, Conn Smythe, passed on word that got to my grandfather that he would take my grandfather today if somebody could turn him white, and they would pay him $10,000 to turn him white.
Wow.
So
What?
Through that, this legacy he established through still trying to reach and chase his dream of hopefully one day being seen for the talent that he was and playing in the NHL.
Yeah.
Never got that opportunity, but built this wonderful legacy that I get to kind of then pass the puck. We like to call it in the Carnegie household. The puck's been passed on to me to be a leader in all the communities in which I affect. And so right now that seems to be the hockey arena. In my playing career, I was a first-round OHL draft pick for the Belleville Bulls in 2001. Played in the OHL for 3 years, and then moved out east to live with my sister in Nova Scotia.
That was the billet?
It was my billet. It was my billet for a short period of time because what my sister and my brother-in-law, and I love them both dearly, my sister's my best friend, at the time what they didn't realize is that a 19-year-old punk kid who doesn't really have any kind of guidance or anything like that, doesn't really understand what responsibilities and household chores were. I've always been one that I was fortunate, I was spoiled, and I didn't really have to take my dish and all that stuff. So I used to hide. My sister will tell the story. I used to whatever I ate, instead of taking it to the kitchen when you're done, I'd take it to my room, I'd eat, and then I'd fall asleep, and then I'm going to go do my things the next day, and I'd leave the bowl and I'd be like, oh shit, and I'd put it underneath the bed, and I'd go around the day, and then come home and my sister would be red in the face, and I'd be like, what's wrong? And she'd have this stack of dishes that have been caked on for 2 months. I just forget it underneath there. So that got me expelled from their house. I had a few different billets. I was a guy that liked to have many different households in a year.
Cool.
When I was younger. And it wasn't until actually Halifax that I started to settle down, and I had the best billet that I've ever had, Patricia Strand.
Nice.
And she was fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
but
great.
it took me it wasn't until my overage year. It took me about 4 years of junior hockey to figure out living conditions, and it took somebody strong enough like Patricia to make sure that I didn't go anywhere else.
This is it.
This was it. That was home. Yeah.
Everyone needs a Patricia in their life.
100%. 100%.
Talk about what you're doing today. I know you're coaching.
Yeah.
Training.
I do.
Your own business.
I wear many different hats. I don't really know what I do. It depends on the day.
Yes.
But I am a proud founder of Onasis Sports Group, which is a mentorship and tutoring hockey business. So I have a variety of hockey players age from U13 all the way up to guys that are playing in the OHL that I work with and mentor. And then I also coach the Toronto Titans 2011 U15 team. So we're pretty excited about the group that we've assembled there. And then as far as, the charitable work that I do, my family has 2 charities.
Yeah.
One called Future Aces and the Carnegie Initiative. Future Aces is in the educational sector.
Yep.
And the Carnegie Initiative is in the hockey sector. And we have, over the last number of years, been able to bring some real conversations around delicate conversations in hockey with regards to the lack of equity and space for visible minorities and things of that nature.
More delicate than Conn Smythe telling your grandfather
You want
enough to play hockey?
well, you want to know
More
what?
delicate than that, or
You want to know what? It's funny. You go back 1938 and fast forward to 2025, and it's the same thing,
yeah.
right? And it's but here we are today, and what we have now that we didn't have in 1938 was an avenue for athletes to educate themselves, families to educate themselves, but also a support system for those that get affected by it. Right? And
people, of course.
100%. So that's part of the work that I do now, is just to be that resource and that support system to make sure that everybody can learn and be heard and be given a space to grow to the fullest potential.
Yeah. That kid that you hooked up with that hockey gear.
Yes.
Slowly. Is he still playing?
He is still playing, and it was compliments. It wasn't that I hooked up. It was I'm very fortunate to have really good friends that allow us to give back to the communities, and we're standing at the facility in which facilitated all of that. And it wasn't for our good friend Mr. Cho, John Cho, that day wouldn't have happened for that family.
Totally.
And it's because of people like that I have been blessed of. I don't know how many people like Chosy that I've ran into, but I've been kissed by many guardian angels that allow me to do things like that, to put a smile and to give, just a sense of, I know what it was like. I couldn't afford to be the hockey player that I was without the support of families, organizations, and things of the like. And I know what that weight of that financial responsibility has on a lot of different families that don't have the resources, don't know where to go.
Yes.
And so to be able to provide that for his kid's name is David Stewart, who's a hell of a kid.
Awesome.
Gets good grades at school too. It's not, we don't give it to anybody. You gotta be burning the wick at all ends of the candle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's a kid that has a bright future ahead of him. Great family, and very fortunate to have Chosy in my life and people like that to give back.
It was just cool. I was one of I told you a couple of weeks ago, and I loved it. Like, big reason why Hockey Hero I thought is we need to connect people to how they'll get in the game.
Absolutely.
Josley's been coaching and training for 30 years. So his whole family playing hockey. I'm like, oh, I love that he's still playing. It's amazing. You've played high level.
Yep.
You're coaching and training
Yeah.
at different levels.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about the contrast of the game, of what you're seeing now, good and bad. Let's just start with the great. Like, what are you seeing in today's game that excites you, that is like, you're like looking at you like, man, that's awesome. That wasn't there 10 years ago or something. You know what I mean?
Well, so I'm one of those guys that I'm not sure if much has changed other than visibility, right? I think that when you look at hockey players through history at the highest levels, they all have the same attributes. They've all been hard workers. They've all done this. They've all done that. What's changed though is that we've now been granted access to see what it really takes to get there. So now you have this younger culture that's right out there right now.
They're training.
Like Curdo training right now, because they've been given visibility where they can see. A funny story, me and Anthony Stewart, we grew up together, we played together. Yeah. And it wasn't until we did an event together this past February where he shared a story of when he went away to California at 17 years old. He went to California. His wife now was from California, so he got an opportunity to go there in the off season. And he said that he got an opportunity to train with Anson Carter, Jason Allison, and see what a pro looks like.
Right.
I just found that out this past February. Meanwhile, I was with Anthony, lockstep and ship.
Right.
Up until that point, had no idea. But if there was social media, I would have been able to see what the NHLers were really doing instead of just being like, oh, I'm good enough to make it. Now what's happened is you have the visibility to be like, okay, it really does take work. It's not just osmosis and poof.
Right. You're
Wish for it and I'm great and here I am.
Yeah. Right.
With all those guys that are there, they put in the work. Now you see that, and now it's trying to be replicated.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the difference for me.
Yeah.
Is that you have more kids that are now putting in the work that weren't doing it back then because they can see it.
Right. I would agree with you. What's the other side of it though? What's the other side of it? Are you seeing where you need to lean less on something, or sir?
I think with the visibility comes, you're seeing this great game of speed, skill that has revolutionized the game of hockey and the way that teams draft players, develop players, and the way the game's being played. Back in the day when I was growing up and playing, you had to be big, you had to be strong, and you had to fight. Right. Now in certain leagues, if you fight, you get suspended or worse.
That's right.
Right. So
you banned it.
So the mental warfare from back in the game to today, I would have done much better today, where I wasn't worried about 17 big guys chasing me down every game, trying to. if I knew that I could just go out there as a skilled guy,
Right.
even though I look bigger now, back then I was a skilled guy.
Yeah.
In today's NHL, guys like that would have been more successful. Whereas I'd like to see how the guys today would have done back with jailhouse rules.
Right. Where
There's no blood, there's no foul, right? So, and I think that's what's also, you asked what's the difference, what's missing. And I think that's what's also missing in the game today is that because we've created this environment in which everything is a foul,
Right.
where is the adversity? Where is the triumph?
Sure.
So everything you just go through, done. Everybody gets a participation ribbon now.
Right.
You get an 8th place ribbon now all of a sudden. And that is not what I think is going to allow this generation to survive in the game of hockey. But forget about hockey, the game of life, right? And the game of hockey and sport is to teach valuable life lessons. Yeah. And I think that the way that it's being policed, the way that it's being taught, the way that all of us, I think that's also, you have a bunch of guys now that pretend to be coaches.
Yes.
That reason why we're here right now is, you know, so you have all these families that don't know any better, that are trusting blindly in people to help them navigate what they don't know.
Yeah.
And they might not be in it for the right intentions.
Yeah, 100%. Like, who are some people that helped you stay on the, not Patricia, like be coaches and trainers, like, you know,
Yeah,
so you would have worked your ass off to get exactly where you were, but you would have had some help.
It's in terms of coaches, organizations, families, you know, the number one family in my life and my constant, my godparents, the Tapscott family, Don Tapscott and Anna Lopez, you know, got me into private school at Upper Canada College, helped me with equipment, helped me with everything really, and helped me with my confidence. It's because of families like the Tapscotts, like the Chos, it allows us to feel confident when we're in the dressing room and all of our equipment looks like everybody else's.
Right.
Outside of them, Bob Law with the Junior Canadians, North Air Canadians at the time, gave me and our family an opportunity to experience AAA. I got the Goldenberg family, the Easterbrook family. I mean, I could go on and on and on with all the families and coaches along the way. My favorite coach, it's a little bit controversial, Steve Cathcart, coach with because
Other reasons, or
no, he's I think he's might be a persona non grata in the GTHL right now.
whatever.
That being said, he cared about the kids, cared about the players, but he wasn't politically correct at times. So that's going to get you in hot water. And when you don't care about being in hot water, you keep swimming in it.
It's fantastic. Advice for parents that are looking at the sport. Just share a little bit for you. Like, what will you share with people who are looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, the advice that I would give to parents would be focus on your own kid. Everybody gets caught up in the barbecue, water cooler. Hey, what's going on your team? What's going on over here?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, just really, really focus on what's important to your kid.
Right.
And what you hope to get out of this experience.
Amazing.
And then just stick to that.
What about advice for kids?
Advice for kids, if you're not willing to put in the work, don't pretend to be wanting to go to the NHL.
Right.
You want to get to the NHL, you want to get to junior hockey, you want to get to AAA, there is no secret. It is all hard work.
Perfect. Why do you coach and train?
I coach and train because I think that it's important for families, for athletes to get this kind of information. I don't think that a lot of coaches are willing to invest the time that's required to deal with 17, 18 different personalities, to give them the information that's going to help them. It's not one brush for everybody, but there are certain things that are non-negotiable.
Right.
So those non-negotiables, I think, are fundamentally flawed with the delivery by the coaches to the players. So I got in there to make sure that these kids that really have these dreams like I once had to make it to the highest level, get the fundamentals down pat that are non-negotiable, because without it, it doesn't matter how many hours you spend on the ice. It doesn't matter what you do at home. If you don't have the fundamentals that are required, such as being a great teammate, being focused, and being a hard worker, if you don't have those three things, I don't care how many goals you score, I don't care how many assists you had, you're never going to play in the NHL. That is never going to happen, period.
I love it. Anyone else? Anything else you want to share or shout out?
No, shout out you for putting together this great initiative.
Oh, thank you.
Happy to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to where this could go.
Thank you, man. This is awesome. Thank you. This is great.
Appreciate
Appreciate it, buddy. This is great.